Doomsday 3.
We had Doomsday 1.
No question in my mind.
He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix, both especially, of course,
Prayer for safety and
on the defense, talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get to the ball.
I just gotta say, when it comes to former Dallas,
Different.
For sure, and they would have thrown it off because
This guy gets off you.
And then I go to bed every night like, G-Man, I promise you that. What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Sorry, I am looking at my phone. You know, I buy my tickets, so I'm waiting. They make sure they put them in there so we can get this thing rolling. But hey, we got a good show planned. It's a schedule, like Kelly said. It's not really the schedule release show. It's schedule reaction show, since they already gave out all the damn games. So we kind of got an idea of what we're doing. But definitely, this is going to be interactive. We'll open up the phone lines. Hopefully, you guys can do that. We're going to put a link in if you guys are daring enough to show your face on the camera. You guys log in and do that kind of stuff. But before we get rolling, I just want to make sure, get the business out of, get that taken care of. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, share. If you're rolling on over on Instagram, if you're rolling on over on Twitter or X, any of those, Facebook, we're streaming there. Slide your ass over. Don't be lazy. Slide over to YouTube. We'll wait a second. All right, you're done.
All right. We already got.
And do that and hang with us. But Kelly, Jimmy, Kelly, we'll start with you. How you feeling, first of all, and you're seeing the early schedule. What's your instant thought?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I think that the NFL is pretty stupid how they do this thing. If you're gonna have a schedule release, have a schedule release. Don't leak out 90% of the games and then keep me hanging for 3. I mean, that's pretty stupid if you ask me. It's like telling me the ending of the book without even letting me open the damn thing up. It's a good book. Oh yeah, but the main character dies in the end. Thanks, NFL. Appreciate it. But look, I'm excited because there's some football on the horizon. You're starting to get a little glimpse of who you're going to play, when you're going to play, when your tough stretch is, when you might be able to make a run, things like that. So I'm happy. And, and also, sports, sports is going on, man. Dallas Mavericks play tonight. The Stars won, or the Stars are playing with a chance to clinch and go on to the finals. So it's a good night, man. I'm feeling good and I'm feeling energized. I see Jimmy is fully suited and booted, ready to go with the Atlanta Falcons gear on.
Well, I got breaking news for Jimmy. I don't know if you saw this. I looked at my tickets. I don't know if this is bad news. You see, I'm getting old. I got to wear glasses. Atlanta Falcons, the Cowboys at the Falcons, November 3rd. I think you said that was worst case.
Are you effing kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but November 3rd, Cowboys at the Falcons. So
now, why is that worst case scenario?
That's for Jimmy. I think
because we the other night, Mike said, hey, just so you know that you're not ducking us, that the Falcons fan ain't ducking the Cowboys fans. Is there any dates that might be an issue? And I said, well, Thanksgiving week. And he said, well, that's no problem because the Cowboys played Thursday. And then I said, I believe the first weekend or right around Halloween. So I'm going to be pissed. It's like,
we got to look at that. And then week 3 is the Ravens coming to town. So I would say this, and it's going to be a 4:30 game. I need Mikey Schefter. I told him to get his ass on here sooner than later because I need him to figure out what game is on his list. He gets first dibs. I told you guys that. He gets first dibs. So he told me he wanted the Texans or the Ravens.
You said November when, Mike?
November 3rd is the Cowboys. So
that's a Tuesday.
Oh, then I can't see. I told you I'm blind as shit. It says November 3rd. Help me out in the chat. Am I right or wrong? It says November 3rd in Atlanta.
It's very important. We need to know these things.
Anyway, what do we got?
The comments are the best. I don't know. Everybody's saying, hi, how you doing? So Kyle told me to go F myself. All in love. Dean's all happy. Nobody.
November 3rd, Jimmy. Get a calendar that works because that's the date.
Oh, whoops! I was looking at December, so maybe I'm the one who needs glasses.
Oops.
All right.
Already,
So
nobody. That's a loss for Atlanta.
Oh, absolutely, it
But
is.
nobody was one talking noise the other night about how bad the Cowboys are going to be.
No.
He sounded like
Oh,
Ultra.
look, we got an Ultra. He's got a different account, or he changed his name here. We got the Ultra Cowboys Sports Podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
I love that. I love it.
There
I
you
hope he's
go.
doing it. I want to be a guest. I want to harass him as much as he harasses us.
Yeah, let us know when the show's on, Ultra.
You know what, Falcon? You got a point. If my date is accurate, you're spot on. I hate those numbers, 28-3. You got to be kidding.
Well, they're talking about they're showing the opening week up, and they're showing the Browns and the Cowboys right now here on the NFL Network. That's one of the games that they're talking about. I know that I look at that game, man, and I think that, regardless, I'm going to look at the Cowboys season, and I think that I'm not going to make any judgments until we get towards the end of the season, closer to playoffs, and see how this team's kind of developing. But I will say it's a good litmus test for the Cowboys opening against the Browns. That's a playoff team. It's a team that I think will contend for, their division. They've got a great defense. Deshaun Watson's kind of been hit and miss, obviously, a little bit. But, if he comes back and if he's playing up to his talents, that offense is tough. And they actually really exploit the weaknesses that we had last year. They run the ball well.
Is Kelly drinking? Because someone's here just to watch you drink. I want to make sure at least we want to satisfy our loyal listeners.
You're here to watch me drink. Well,
Drinking.
you can. I'll snag something up here in a minute. I can grab a bottle of tequila. But no, and then and also their defense. Their defense is really good. The Cleveland Browns. So I don't know how you feel about that one, Mike, but it's going to be a tough game. That's not going to be a cakewalk. It's Cleveland.
Now a couple things, and Jimmy, if you got inside information, or people in the chat, or Kelly, Chubb, he got injured. Do you think he's going to be ready by week 1? So the running back, right? He got hurt, so that's one thing. Deshaun Watson's coming off some injuries. He had a couple groin strains, I think, so he's been out for a while. I don't know how he's going to be. I think he's at the massage parlors trying to get rehabilitated, but that's the defense is going to be, the defense is formidable, and you got to think about Garrett versus our left tackle. And if our left tackle is going to be, Guyton, the rookie, that could be trouble. But you got to know that the Cowboys are going to prepare for that. You got to know that they're going to get some help with a tight end. This is probably a game where you're going to be thankful that they got Zeke for pass protection. So it's going to be an interesting game. I just don't know if the as Rocky's trainer Mick said, I don't know if they can go toe to toe with us, but it's going to be interesting. It'll be a great test for us early on for sure.
Hey,
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No. Well, I was just
going to say I had to look up the Chubb thing, and he got injured September 18th of last year, so I think he should be good to go.
He should be good.
Week 1, I would imagine so.
All right, let me Mikey Schefters. I'm going to put the link in the chat. If anyone wants to link in, you're welcome to. I know Mikey's trying to get in because Mikey's got to give the big reveal of the game that he wants to go to, because then that kind of works things down the line. So we definitely need to get that. But go ahead, Jimmy. As an observer, you're looking at the Browns, you're looking at the Cowboys. What's your outsider opinion?
That should be a good victory for you guys. Okay. I don't know. I think that's a win. Probably a bye week. Again, I'm not sold on Deshaun Watson anyway. So I think you're going to smoke him. Yeah.
I like it.
I think you smoke him. We got the Steelers week 1.
You got Steelers, so we play the Steelers.
Yeah. We got the Steelers week 1 at home.
Oh, nice.
We got the Steelers on Sunday night football. I'm trying to the way they did the schedule's all jacked up. I was trying to see, there was rumors the Buccaneers. So the Buccaneers, that's a wild card. I got to make sure, Mike, the Buccaneers are Sunday night home game. That's going to be on Sunday Night Football. So that's a wild card if you like the night games. But I don't want to jump around the schedule, but were you surprised the Cowboys, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, help me out. It doesn't look like there's no Sunday night game against the Eagles this year for the first time in a long time. Am I right in that?
Yeah. I don't think I did see. I don't think I did see any.
How about we host the Eagles on Monday night, week
You're
2?
opening. You're week 2. You're their home opener.
Yeah,
Home
good.
opener. So.
Take care of business against them.
All right. Well, let's get this taken care of. It looks like we got Mikey Schefter on. Mikey, you can you hear us good?
I hear y'all perfectly crystal clear.
Crystal
Sorry,
clear.
My voice is a little low. I have allergy problems.
All right. Well, let's get down to brass tacks. Everyone's waiting on pins and needles, trying to figure out. So you have the first round draft pick and the Mike Tag Cowboys Cave season tickets. So what is the draft pick? Do you want to talk through your games, or is there one you already know that you want to hit? I mean, you got some good options. You got the Eagles.
We do have good options.
Here's at the Sunday night game. You got the Ravens. You got the Texans on Monday night. You know, what are you thinking? What is the first pick in the draft looking at?
Well, I was looking at the Ravens, but we play in week 3, and I was
we got the Bengals Monday night too, not the Texans.
We did both. We have both Monday night.
Oh, so you got the Bengals Monday night too? That could be a game. That's another one. Thank you, Ultra.
Yeah, and I don't know why we play the Bucks on Christmas.
Well,
I thought the Ravens would be a Sunday night game.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's weird.
Are you good with Monday night?
What?
Are you, because it's November 18th? I feel like there's something there.
Well, there's a game.
No, I know, but I'm saying, do we have anything planned for there? Because I'll pick the Texans if we don't. If
the Lord spares my life, I plan on being there, and I don't have any plans. So,
okay,
if the Texans are your choice on Monday night,
all right, Texans Monday night. That's my pick.
You're locking it in.
Locking it in.
All right, so I defer to Kelly. Kelly, you look at the schedule. I don't know if we want to drumble. I don't know if you need to talk through it. What game is the Cowboys Cave second annual tailgate party? What are we looking at, Kelly K9?
All right. Well, you know, we can go ahead and just mark out the Saints, because don't nobody want to do a tailgate at noon. Or have a game at noon and you tailgating for you basically drinking tequila for breakfast. I mean, yeah. I'll do that on a weekend, but when I'm going into a game, I don't think I'm going to do that. So have they said what time that week 3 game against the Ravens is? Because
that's going to be that's going to be
3:25.
That's going to be 3:30.
3:25.
Yeah. The two to me are the Ravens and Lions. That's the two.
I was going to say the Ravens and Lions, but since I saw the Lions last year, so I like to go to a team that I hadn't seen yet, and you got Derrick Henry with the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, the MVP, even though Dak should have got it. So you got the MVP and the runner up to the MVP. I'd have to say it's going to be that Ravens game. I think we should do week 3 the Ravens game.
That's the September 22nd.
September 22nd. Are we locking that in?
Week 3.
Third week.
You know what? Especially because of all things, fate has it that I'm not here on November 3rd, which is pissing me off a lot right now. I'm going to go to the tailgate, and I want to make sure that I'm good for that too. I want to go to the tailgate.
So we got Jimmy Dee. So lock it in. The official Cowboys tailgate party is going to be Cowboys hosting the Baltimore Ravens. I believe that is week 3. Is that week 3 or week what?
Week 3.
Week 3. We're going to bypass the home opener. No one wants to go to a 12 o'clock game. That's no fun.
No.
That's no fun. And that's why I try, and I tried to explain, a little bit on Twitter and on some stuff. It's not, I don't care who we play. We know when we got to play them. When I'm bitching about the schedule, I want value. I want the ultimate game experience because I'm going to these games. So a 12 o'clock game is not something a traveling guy would like to do. And
absolutely not.
You can't enjoy Saturday night because you want to hang out late at Texas Live. You're hanging out with Cuts by Jones. He's drinking. Kelly's spilling beer all over you. I mean, you cannot get up that early for a game and have a good time. So that's why we don't like 12 o'clock games. It's not that we're elitist thinking that we're better than these other teams and we shouldn't have 12 o'clock games, but I don't think we should. So we're going to lock it in with the Ravens. So I saw Cuts by Jones. He's locked in. he is going to be the chef. Now the rumor was Doug may have 2 pits going, and Doug might be grilling at the game. I don't know if that's true or not.
Hey, and I'll tell you something. At least for my, what is that? That's a 4:30 game or a 3:30.
3:25.
And you know what? Atlanta's the Sunday night game that week, so we're gonna hang out and watch Sunday Night Football.
That's
We're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone, baby.
There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and
so.
you know, we had people last year ask us. I don't know how many times they kept asking us. They said, "Do you guys did you guys gonna have a TV with you?" The answer is no. We didn't have a TV, but the people next to us, they had TVs, so we could just watch theirs. We didn't have a TV, but you get your phones, and other people have TVs. We'll be all right. We'll go to Texas Live for the night game.
And I don't know if you saw this, Kelly, but when we were there, when the game started, like everyone was using like, you know, the antennas and stuff, and it wasn't working very well. Like, I don't know, you know,
no, it didn't. It didn't. You're better off to go to a bar to watch to watch a game if you're, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, because I think they after the tailgate you can go back, but then I think what do they allow you to tailgate like an hour after the game?
Yeah.
I think like an hour after the game. So then come back, pack things up, shut things down, and go to watch Jimmy's team. So yeah, it'll be a continuation of the tailgate for those that want to join.
Well, the fun thing too is you never know what'll happen after the game. Like we had our tailgate, we had the stuff put away when we're leaving to go to the game. Some people said, "Hey, do you mind if we kind of, infringe on your space?" I said, "Sure, we're going back in. We're all going to the game." Next thing you know, we had a full-blown band there. We had everything there. We had all these people hanging out. We had all this stuff going on. So it ended up being this beautiful festive event that turned into a little chaotic. And we had fist fights amongst our own Cowboy fans. No one in the cave tailgate party was involved, thankfully. Otherwise, we were rolling about 30 or 40 deep and it got real ugly in there. But everything was fine, and we enjoyed that. And then we had someone twerking for Cuts by Jones's Chicken. So there was just so many good things happening that you just couldn't beat it. So I'm just saying it's a lot of fun. So listen, you guys.
Did he say that they were choking his chick? What did you just say?
No, they were twerking for chicken.
Oh.
Listen, I've never in my life. It's the first time I've ever seen a girl twerk for chicken. But this girl got onto the table and started twerking for chicken.
But Kelly, did she get the neck bone?
Well, she got her neck bone when she hit the ground, man. She fell off the table and hit hard. She fell off the table. The table, she came down off the table and fell on the table. She had grass all over her stuff, all over her shirt.
We should have been recording it, and
it would have been a moment.
Yeah, we should have been recording it, but we weren't. So no, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And like we said before, as we get closer, we'll talk about it. I've been very upfront, honest on it. That anything that we've done through the channel, we've got some money saved up. That's going towards the tailgate event, that weekend event. Obviously, we got a little travel. We got all that kind of stuff. We're putting everything together there. But also any donations that you guys make, we'll give you a Cash App that you can use. It goes towards it. If everyone put in $10 or something like that to help with the food and all that kind of stuff, that's all we ask for. But we'll bring the entertainment. Last time they had the TV channel there interviewing Kelly and I, because I knew that was a place to be. So, and we've got strategy. We're going to use some of the money to buy extra parking passes. That way we can take over a few extra spots in the tailgate and really kind of expand a little bit. Give us a little breathing room. We got to have some elbow room. So
gotta get out. Well, yeah, because we had the one space and we didn't really realize how many people were going to show up. And before you knew it, our space was just spreading out into the parking lot. People didn't really have spots. So we started invading the people next to us. And yeah, it was a great turnout. If half the people turned out to this tailgate, which I think we got a little run last year, and the hype around it, I think, is just kind of spread. Everybody heard how fun it was. And I think this year you got even more people that are wanting to go. So if we get as good a turnout as we did last year, it's going to be great. And I know that I've already had several people asking me, like, when's the date? When is it? I want to come, want to be there. So we'll see how many people show up. So now that we've set a date.
Yeah. Well, SoCal with appreciate the love of the super sticker, but he said have some balls and post
Well,
something. But
look 2 up from that. Couple up from that.
well, I don't know what he's I don't know what he's implying. I don't know what he's implying in that comment. But I will say, you know, there was a lot of fights and there was a lot of stuff, and I don't know. I'm not gonna get involved in that. So I'll just leave it at that.
No, you know what? We're talking about buying up the extra parking pad. Remember, it's kind of like on Godfather Part 2, and Don Fanucci says, "See, this is my neighborhood." Right?
Yeah. And I grew up on
my spaces.
Just so it's a fact, I grew up on grape Kool-Aid and grape Flavor Aid. When I couldn't afford Kool-Aid, my buddy and I would go get Flavor Aid at Winn-Dixie because it wasn't a quarter each; it was 10 cents. So we got that. You mix that with the sugar. So you know, when you're trying to survive at 20 years old on your own, you find out creative ways to do stuff.
Wait a minute. One of the most infamous nights. One of the most infamous nights was at Mike Tag's house, and I happened to mix some vodka with some Kool-Aid. I think it might have been the knockoff Kool-Aid. Before I knew it, I was in the bathroom getting hit in the head with a door. Threw up all over the place. It wasn't a pretty scene. You know, Mike's uncle walked into the bathroom. He's visiting from out of town. He said, "Hey, I think your friend is dead in the bathroom." Tonight they found me dead.
Hey, Kool-Aid and vodka is an undefeated mix, man. That's some pretty good stuff.
Yes,
man.
it is.
But I just wanted to address the comment by Ultra real quick, because he said 9 playoff teams on our schedule. He said Dak can change the narrative with this schedule. Now nobody's harder on Dak than Ultra, so I just want to say this. I want to provide some consistency here. I'm going to say this to Ultra because he's the ultimate Dak hater here. Doesn't believe in Dak. I'm going to say this. I don't believe that. I don't think Dak changes the narrative until he does it in the playoffs. So you're always telling me that I'm the one that's overhyping and being, you know, riding Dak, and I'm Dak this and Dak this. I don't think anything in the regular season changes the narrative around Dak. The only thing changes the narrative around Dak is in the postseason. That's it. Yeah. I mean, for
that's
me,
what
that's
it comes
it.
down to.
I don't care if he went 17-0 in the regular season. He could win every damn game. If you don't win in the playoffs, it don't mean shit.
That's right.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's true.
I mean, you think if you
Couldn't
really
agree more.
What was that, Mikey?
I couldn't agree more with that. He has to prove it in the playoffs.
The Cowboys can go 17-0 in the regular season, and nobody is going to be confident in the playoffs. I mean, that's just being honest. I think all of us are shell shocked. All of us are kind of, you know, there's the playoffs is really unfortunate. We're going to have fun during the season. We're going to get hyped. We're going to have fun during the season. You got to enjoy the ride. But in the back of everyone's mind, it's always going to be, I don't know if I can buy all in. Like, you know, even if they get to a hot start and they're running away with the division or win the division, whatever it is, it's going to be in everyone's mind. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not all in on buying that yet. So, I mean, and that's unfortunate, but I mean, they got to go. It's history. It's history. So that's what they got to do. So
Ronnie's saying the prediction on the NFL Network for the Cowboys, and Ultra's saying they're probably saying 5-12. Sure, he's being sarcastic, but I guess he said 10-7.
Well, there's the Cowboys, right? Yeah, they're doing 5, 6-5, 7-5. They got them. They got us losing to Baltimore, the Ravens, Steelers, 49ers, Texans, Bengals, and then beating with 10-7 is what they have. Now, I'll be honest. I haven't done the check the box yet. We got someone in the room.
Looks like Steven.
Yeah, we'll get into Steven. Steven, we're gonna get into you real quick so you can say hello right quick, and let me move some stuff around. But 10-7, I was like an 11-6 kind of schedule. We haven't done it.
I would have said 11-6, or 10-7. We have a tough schedule.
Yeah,
even the Browns game, that's a tough game. I know everyone thinks we're going to steamroll them, but I mean, that's a
I don't think we're going to steamroll them by any stretch. I don't think we're going to
steamroll. I'm saying just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a tough defense. Their offense is solid. I mean, you have Nick Chubb, if he's back to the way he was. You have Amari Cooper. They just got Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, a good offensive line. Njoku. I mean, this is going to be a good game. Like, I can't predict this game because it's
I think to Kelly's point, it's a good early game. It's a good get them early.
It's a good early game. It's a good early game. Get them out the way.
It's a good one to start the season out with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Mikey
It would be a
Schefter,
good
you
one.
have faith in Deshaun Watson as a quarterback?
I'm not saying like I'm just saying he doesn't have to do much. I mean, with all the weapons he has, I mean, they have a good run offense. You have all the weapons and the receivers. You have the Njoku. You have the line. I mean, he could just dip and dunk if he really wants to.
That's what we said about Desmond Ritter last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that I've
I mean,
seen
if Watson plays like he did with Houston, I mean, that's
I
Fair.
seen Bugsy in the chat, and he keeps trying to get me to make that bet. He said the Cowboys would win at least 12, and I'd said that they were going to win, 9 or 10 this year. And I said I'm not going to make any bets until I got to wait till the
We don't
season's
bet
about
on
to
our
start.
hey. We don't bet.
Well-
I'm going to lay down a rule right here. I've already done it with Uncle Cheech. We don't bet on the Cowboys in this on this channel because that means you're a jinx. It's a jinx.
Yeah, well,
And I
and
never
not only
forgive you.
that, betting anything right now at this point of the season right now, you don't know. I mean, shoot, Dak could go into training camp and and get injured, get a season-ending injury. You don't ever know, so you can't make that kind of bet right now. It'd be if I was going to make a bet on it, but I'm still holding with. I feel like this is a 10-win team. I think.
No, I think looking at it,
I said
but
10 wins.
let's say Steven's up here. Let's just say what's up to Steven.
Yeah,
Get his
yeah,
quick
bring him
thoughts
on in.
the,
Stephen Mack.
what
Hey,
is
what's
up,
going
Steven?
on,
How's it
everybody?
going, brother?
How you doing?
Good.
Going
How are you?
on?
Come on, big dog.
Not a whole
So
lot.
what's your thoughts? Give us your reaction. You said the schedule is out, the days are set, you're marking it on the calendar, you're booking the flights, you're getting the tickets, all that good stuff. How are you feeling about the schedule and the way the games are laid out?
I actually like the schedule a lot. I mean, if you look at it, especially with Cleveland, that's a game. It's usually a cold weather game, but looks like we got a lot of the cold weather games out early. So that could benefit us a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yep.
That is true.
And especially with Tyler Guyton.
What's the big game that you got circled? Give me your top 3 games you got circled on the calendar there that your must watch games. Whether for whatever reason, give us a reason on each one real quick.
Obviously the Ravens, especially with that matchup last year with Dak versus Lamar for the MVP. So hopefully that can go ahead and get things rolling early with that race. And
of course,
obviously,
the Cowboys tailgate party is another good reason that you got to love that game, but that goes without
that's
saying.
true. I'm going to try to make it. We'll see.
Nice.
The 49ers game, obviously, for obvious reasons, they seem to be our kryptonite. So I think if we can at least come in there, even regular season, if we can get a win from the 49ers, that'll give us some confidence, especially with the young guys we got, kind of see what they're going to do and how they're going to play out. So there's some tough games early, which is what we want, especially last year. We had a lot of early, I wouldn't say cake games, but teams that weren't up to par with who we're playing now. So I think this is going to be a test for our young team, and we'll see where we are come, I say, week 5 in Pittsburgh when we play the Steelers.
Well, and let me ask you guys, last Mikey and Kelly and Steven and Jimmy, you chime in as well. And we want to get to Jimmy's Falcons and see what that schedule, get your overview too. But the Cowboys usually have that kind of tough ending, right? And I'm looking at their schedule now. The last 4 games, you got the Panthers on the road, but you got to think that's a pretty winnable game. You got the Buccaneers at home. I think the Buccaneers, I don't think they're as good as, obviously, they won a bad division last year. I think Atlanta takes that division. I don't think Buccaneers are going to be as competitive as they were last year. So I think that's a break there. The road game against Philly, obviously, that's going to be tough. Make no mistake about it. Then you got the Commanders at home. So realistically, you should expect a 3-1 finish, 4-0 if everything's rolling. Obviously, injuries play a part in it, but at worst, I would think a 3-1 finish to end the season. So it feels like they got an opportunity. If they can rack a few wins early, they got a chance to really make some moves at the last quarter of the season.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that, huh?
I say yeah, that's my voice as well.
I agree.
No, I agree.
I agree.
I agree perfectly with that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, the games are, definitely winnable. We could probably go 3 out of 4 with those. And hopefully we're in a position to where we can rest some guys. I know Tank said quote unquote, that they were tired, come playoffs.
I don't want to hear no shit about being tired. God damn it.
Exactly. I don't want any excuses, but if we can rack some early wins against some harder to beat opponents, hopefully we can rest some of those key guys, say against the Commanders that last game, or hell, even the Bucks and Carolina, give them some rest, and hopefully we're in a position where we can roll come playoff time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I'll tell you
Absolutely.
what, though, our
ahead,
run
Mike.
offense is going to be tested early. Our run game is going to be tested early. I mean, the Browns have had the best run defense last year. They're going to be tested that game. Ravens have a good run defense. Steelers have a solid. I mean, they're going to be
Saints
tested
are always
early.
a good defensive team.
Saints are scrappy too. I mean, we have to run the ball against those teams. We do.
And again, we've talked about it a lot. That's the Cowboys question mark right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Running
is.
back.
It's a
Right?
the big question mark. And I know we have Zeke, but
Yeah. No. Well, cool. Well, Steven, I hope that,
primetime games.
go ahead,
I said
Kelly.
was counting down. I keep looking. I was counting down our primetime games.
I think we have
Dal-
4. 2
Dallas
Sunday
is
night.
Dallas is stayed on the. I feel like they get more primetime games than anybody else, but I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, the Thanksgiving game, 5, 6, 7. They've got 7 right now, and they haven't announced the last game, the Washington game, which could make it 8 if that's a primetime game. And I'm just looking at it. I see that Philadelphia game, December 29th. If Philadelphia and Dallas are, vying for that division title right there, that could be a game that you could see possibly.
They could flex that one easy.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on what the Sunday night, depending on what the Sunday night matchup is at that point. So,
You think
you're
they
looking at
flex
a
because
possible
Dallas is Sunday night the week before? I got to think that I don't know if they'd flex it because they're playing Sunday night the week before against the Bucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised we don't have a Sunday night game with Philly at all.
Yeah, I talked
So
about
they're
that
both
earlier.
overtime
First
games.
time I can remember.
We got him on
crazy.
Monday. We got him on a Monday night.
Well,
So you're
you guys
playing
will-
Monday and then Sunday night? Is that weird, Jim?
We have 2 Monday nights, a Sunday and a Thursday.
No, but you have Monday night and then week 3 is a Sunday night, you said.
Yeah. So we have a Monday night and a Sunday night back to back.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, we got, the Chiefs week 3 is a Sunday night game. That is not going to be easy for us. That's going to be a big test.
Yeah.
Hey, you could luck out. I mean, they have two hard games. They have the Ravens and they play the Bengals before they come to play Atlanta. So, you could luck out on that one.
Yeah, and it is a home game for us. So hopefully you're right. I mean, we have, and I know this is obviously we're talking Cowboys, but I'm just looking at us quick. Steelers home opener. I think we can take that one. Eagles week 2.
The Eagles are coming off an international game, right,
Yeah.
against Green Bay.
So that we could be 2-0 there. Chiefs, that'll be tough, even though it's a home game. But to Steven's point, maybe they come off 2 Saints. There's a win. Bucks. There's a win. So we have 3 straight division games. I think are all going to be wins. Seahawks, winnable game. Bucks, winnable. Cowboys. That's a bye week for us. That's a win.
Oh, here we go.
Saints again. I mean,
that's why you're a coward. You're not even going.
I know. You don't know how pissed off I am right now. You really don't know how pissed.
There's
off
1
I am.
out of 17 chance.
1 for 17.
What are the odds?
So Broncos, that's a win. Chargers, that'll be tough. Vikings win. Raiders win. Giants, another bye week. Commanders, Panthers. Yeah, you know what? Looking at that schedule, our own division games, we should take 5 of them, at least in my opinion. I don't think we'll sweep, but we'll take 5. So hopefully we'll soften up the rest of the NFCs for you.
Yeah. No.
Do it.
Well, cool. Well, Steven, we will let you roll so you can enjoy the rest of the show. We'll try and get some others on here. They got nerves, but always appreciate it. Going to get you on as a guest one time, one of our shows, so you just hang with us full time and definitely talk some ball and have a good time with the Cowboys. But I appreciate it, man.
All right, fellas, I'll see you in the chat.
Steven, take it easy, bro.
Later, Steven. Have a good one.
Yep. Y'all too.
All right. So if you guys want, we will put it in. If anyone else has the stones to come in and show your face, let us know what it's all about. I'm going to put another link in there. You guys can definitely come in and do that. You know what I'll do? I haven't figured out how to unblock anyone. I don't know if you know this, Kelly, but I've been talking to our guy on well, I forgot his name. Carl. Was it Carl?
Carl. Oh,
Was it
Carl.
Oh, that's who it was. Yes.
Carl. So I'm trying to unblock him. I was gonna, extend him olive branch and give him another chance because we're it's a show of the people and we want to have some fun. But I don't know how to unblock anybody. I haven't figured it out. So if anyone on YouTube knows how to unblock people, let us know.
Nobody. The Bucks are going to sweep the ATL, man. I don't know what you're drinking tonight or smoking or whatever else, but that ain't happening.
That's some good shit.
Now,
Look I don't think that the
Jimmy.
Bucks. What's up?
Uh-oh.
Do you
Mikey's
trust-
Mikey Schefter.
do
Mikey
you trust
Schefter.
Kirk Cousins?
Oh, yes, I do. I do. I mean, he's like I said, he's looking
Hey,
good.
hold on.
I think he's
I want
looking
to ask
good,
you a
man.
question
He
real
looked
quick.
good in the rookie minicamp.
Well, since he brought up the Kirk Cousins thing, I want to ask you because there was a thing that I saw. I can't remember who said it, what show it was on, but they were talking about Dak's contract, and they said that Dak should be paid like Kirk Cousins, not like Jared Goff, because the Dak is not in the same talent level as Jared Goff. Now, I'll let you answer before I say anything. What do you think about that?
So in other words, what they're saying
he should
is
be paid more like Kirk Cousins instead of what Jared Goff. Jared Goff got a $200+ million, I think $230 million contract. They're saying Dak should get what Cousins got, similar to what Cousins got.
after Dak's performance last season. I don't mean the playoffs. I mean his regular season was impeccable. He deserves a lot of coin. So yes,
all right,
that's a fair statement. I mean, come on, just look at the stats. Get
out the car.
And that's what I'm saying is they were the guy that was on there was trying to say that they should pay him more like Cousins instead of Jared Goff, and I thought to myself, ain't no way, because Dak is a superior quarterback to Jared Goff. If the Lions could have got Jared Goff a couple years ago from the Cowboys, they absolutely would have went and got Dak over Jared Goff. Now, don't get me wrong. Goff has had, has done well in that system, has performed well. They put good weapons around him. But if I'm ranking quarterbacks and I'm going down the list, I'm not putting Jared Goff above Dak Prescott.
I agree with you.
How the hell would you say that you got to pay him like Kirk Cousins?
No
If you're Jerry Jones and you come to Dak Prescott and offer him Kirk Cousins money instead of Jared Goff money, he's going to look at you, laugh, and say, you know what? I'll see you guys later. I'll be a free agent, play this year out, and I'm done. This will be my last year. That's just those are guys on ESPN saying that shit, man. It just drives me nuts.
It's insane.
Ronnie,
This is what I'm saying, to where it's like they're waiting way too long to extend Dak, CD. If Justin Jefferson gets paid before CD, we're toast.
Wow. I mean, look, the cap is a fictitious number.
Exactly.
You see what these guys can do. So I'm not worried about it in any shape. If they want to sign the guys, they'll sign them. Now, I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of waiting. I think if you believe CD is a guy, just get the shit done and move on. I don't understand it, but I'm not an owner. I don't know what the whole thing, the ramification, I don't know their thought process. So I can't see CD Lamb playing on another team. And the thing I would say too is I was talking to tweeting with Rome. And in the Dallas Cowboys history, their franchise quarterback, no franchise quarterback in Cowboys history has ever worn another uniform. They played for the Cowboys, retired as a Cowboy. I mean, you could throw Danny White's name in there, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach. I mean, those quarterbacks, that's the way it was. So I don't know. It would be very surprising if they let him walk, but it's like I was talking to my buddy at lunch today. The part that would bother me if they let it happen, you're getting nothing for him. I'd be more mad at that than them letting him walk. I would be like, you had a guy and you got nothing in return. How do you allow this to happen?
That's right.
And not only just a guy, it's a guy that would be in high demand. I mean,
yes,
it is what it is. I mean, like I said, you look at that, and I'm not sitting there trying to, shit on the Falcons or anything, but if they had a chance to choose between Dak and Kirk Cousins, they're giving Dak 10 times out of 10. and they're paying him a big ass contract. And there's a lot of teams that are out there right now that are looking for quarterbacks and searching for answers. Look at how many teams drafted quarterbacks in that top, the top 12 picks. I mean, 6 out of the top 12. And do we think that, even half of them are going to pan out? Probably 4 out of the 6 are going to be guys that won't even be around in a couple of years from now. And, so you look at that, and these teams, they're reaching for guys. You got the Denver Broncos going after a guy like Bo Nix. You can't tell me that the Denver Broncos, if they had a chance to snag Dak Prescott, that they wouldn't jump all over that situation right there. Or the Minnesota Vikings or any of those teams that needed a quarterback, they would have snagged Dak Prescott in a heartbeat, and they would pay him what the going rate for a quarterback is, because they would believe, hey, now we got ourselves a franchise quarterback. And, I get the playoff success isn't there, but you're talking about a guy that is a proven quarterback and has shown the ability to win in the regular season and do it consistently. 3 straight seasons with 12 wins. Dak has been the quarterback of all 3 of those teams. You can't just discredit Dak and say, well, it's the scheme or it's the defense. You can't discredit Dak when it comes to those wins. He is a part of the team. He's the leader of that team. 36 wins over 3 years is something not a lot of quarterbacks are doing anyway.
No. And hey, just quick love for Louis Hall. Not my brother Louis, but Louis Hall. Definitely appreciate the love. And
Louis Spicoli, I thought it was. Hey, so real quickly to your point, Ronnie asked earlier, is Kirk Cousins overpaid? No, I don't think he's overpaid. He's coming off injury. I don't think he's overpaid. But again, back to what Kelly said, and I said this months ago after the Cowboy Green Bay debacle, I said I would take Dak Prescott in a heartbeat in Atlanta, especially at that point. I think there's a lot less pressure in Atlanta. And I think that in a playoff scenario for Dak, he wouldn't have all that weight on his shoulders. I would have taken him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
No, he could have been to a bunch of teams. Let me get back to Louis though, because he didn't have his comment. He didn't have his question. He said, I meant to say, what do you guys believe with our coaching staff that we have? Can we get farther in the playoffs? I will let Kelly, I'll let you take it. I'll give my response. And if Mikey wants to chime in, Jimmy, you're a neutral guy, but if you have a comment, you can go as well. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, well, not a whole lot has really changed outside of the defensive coordinator with Zimmer. So I guess the question just is, do you believe that Zimmer is going to be a better fit for this Cowboys defense than Quinn was? And after watching that Green Bay game, I would have to say definitively yes, because I just don't see a Mike Zimmer defense getting embarrassed like that. I still don't understand some of the scheme changes that we did in that Green Bay game, where we switched some of our defensive philosophies that we had used all year and switched up and still don't understand that for the life of me. I don't believe Quinn was trying to purposely lose that game, but goddamn if it didn't seem like he was. So, yes, I think that Zimmer is going to be better for this defense. And I think you're going to see this defense be better against the run, just because they're going to play, sound football. Dan Quinn, his football, not to say that it wasn't, he didn't do great things with his defense over the last several years, because he did, but they were more of a pin their ears back and just play reckless, fly to the ball. Zimmer is going to be, it's sound, it's playing your assignment, it's being where you're supposed to be on the field. And it's just, there's differences there. And I think that Zimmer is going to be better for this defense. So I'm hoping on hope, man. I can't say definitively, but right now I'd have to say, yeah, just because of what I saw on the Green Bay. That's what I remember. And I don't think that Zimmer would have let that happen.
Yeah.
And to your point about Quinn, I saw Quinn sit there and allow Kyle Shanahan to let the Super Bowl go, to make stupid play calls, and Quinn let it go instead of saying, screw you as the offensive coordinator. We're running the ball. We have a great run game. So to your point, if Quinn wanted to win that he wanted to win. But as a smart coach, he says, yo, we're running the ball. Screw this passing shit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Mike, any thoughts on it?
Well, I like that Zimmer's actually on the field.
That's my thing.
So I feel like that's going to be more. I feel like that's going to make the defense better. But I think it's all going to come down to if Micah can lead. Micah has to be that leader. He does all the talk in the podcast. That's fine. But you have to do it on the field.
Yeah.
I don't want you sitting there quiet. Do what you say on the podcast. If you do that, then I think we'll be fine. But I like the hire. I think it's a great hire.
No, you stole my thunder with him on the field as a coach on the field. You saw the comments that he's made. You saw the comments the defensive line coach made. They kind of thrown a little shade. They're saying they're not criticizing the previous defensive regime, but they had some comments about Mozzie Smith. Just, it seemed like he wasn't getting coached up. Doesn't seem like they were putting him in the position for success. So I like Zimmer. I like his intensity. I like him being on the field. Like he said, he wants to help during the game. If something's not working, he doesn't want to be up in a box. He's always been on the field. So I think that's a big thing. But guys, don't let nothing else, step away from the fact of it's the players on the field. The players on the field can do something about it. When you've got the opponents saying, punch these front runners right in the mouth, and we didn't do nothing about it. And we talked about it, I think, on Jimmy, either your show when you and I did it or Kelly last week. The telltale sign, someone said it in the comments,
Yes.
and I agreed 100%, is when CeeDee Lamb got punched in the back, got shoved in the back, did nothing about it. None of his teammates did nothing about it. He just kind of walked and shrugged his shoulders down and walked away. Unacceptable. You got to go hit somebody. It's the same thing. I'm wearing, you look what I'm wearing. Kevin Gogan will represent the old school. That wouldn't fly with that 90s team. Someone was going to pay a price for doing that. That's what this team has got to get, the mental toughness. I think Zimmer's going to bring it on defense, but they got to get that mental toughness. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but that's my thought.
I agree. I totally agree.
Did you guys, Steve's comments about DQ is a beast, and he made some of our defensive players superstars. What do you think about that?
Cap. What players?
But when it mattered most, the thing Zimmer talked about.
Where was he when it mattered most?
Exactly. The thing that they talked about, Zimmer said
he let Jordan Love have a legacy game on us.
You're not going to see the turnovers that you see with Zimmer's defense that you saw with Quinn. You may not see the turnovers, but with high turnovers becomes high risk. And that's getting gashed in the run game. Yeah. That's guys 15 yards wide open. I don't think you're going to see that in Zimmer. Now, Zimmer may not be the end-all, be-all. We'll see what happens. But I think what Zimmer can do with this team is bring them toughness. As we're not knocking Quinn. Quinn did a fine job. When he got him as far as they can go, which is exit out of the playoffs. So he's got to go. I got no problem with it. You got to change something. They weren't going to change the coach, which I agree with. I don't think the head coach was the issue. You got to change some positions. You got to change players. So, Quinn had to fall on the sword, but the performance I saw in Green Bay, they should have fired him right on the spot.
So, guys, I don't know if you saw earlier, Mark, with a
Diggs
super
and
chat.
Bland were, What'd
you say,
no,
Jimmy?
but that's Al Harris.
I'm sorry, Mikey Schefter. I said earlier, Mark with a super chat. I'm not so.
Let's say it.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Hey, Dak, JJ has been indecisive, painted himself in a corner. Now you're forced to overpay him or release him. I don't understand the overpay. I guess I don't get it. Overpay. You're paying what the market is. I don't think you're overpaying. I mean, I'm not overpaying. It ain't coming out of my pockets. I ain't paying shit. But I'm just saying, is the owners, you're paying them what the going rate is. I mean, that's what the rate is of a quarterback. It's next man up. I didn't make the rules. I didn't design this, but what Patrick Mahomes is, what is he now, Kelly or Jimmy or Mike? What is he, like a fifth, sixth highest paid quarterback based on average salary? So it's all a farce. Look at the guaranteed money. That's all you got to look at.
Exactly.
You can throw a guy $300 million. If 150 is guaranteed, that's the only part you care about.
Yeah.
So, like with Cousins, 85 million is guaranteed.
Yeah,
Ryan, like you said, it's a farce. It's smoke and mirrors.
Contract. You got Cousins for 2 years is what you're going to do.
It's a Ronald McDonald Miller scam. That's what the salary cap is.
So, but anyway, I was going to put this out, and if people want to, I will bring the phone number. We get people who are scared sometimes, but we always enjoy people who call in. I know sometimes people like to call in and give their speak their mind on Jimmy. So if you want to call in to yell at Jimmy and on the shitty Falcons or anything like that, you can call in and let him know. He thinks that they're going to win. But talking about the schedule, so I was given a story, and it coincides with we got a homecoming game. They gave us a homecoming game, kind of like an extra bye week, and that's on Thanksgiving. We get to play the Giants, and what a treat that is. It's not a game I'd care to go to, but it's like a you know what a homecoming game is, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? Homecoming game,
that's when you got a shitty team to beat up on.
Yeah, you slap them around the field a little bit. So that's what they are. But I got into it a little bit with a Giants fan because he was making some comments about Troy Aikman. And this is what I want to get you guys' opinion on. This is the low-hanging fruit that all these fans that hate the Cowboys, especially the team of the 90s, that they hate so much about the Cowboys. They always this is the narratives they always throw. Emmitt Smith was only good because of his offensive line. Troy Aikman was only good because of Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. And Michael Irvin was only good because of Troy Aikman. But they tell them they all suck. The only reason they were good is because all these other things, which makes no sense to me. But it's like I say, when Emmitt Smith was out, the Cowboys never won any games. And Troy Aikman was the leader of the team. We played Kevin Gogan. He's been on the show. That's why I love Gogan. He tells it like it is. But it's the easy out that all these guys do. They try and knock everyone on their team, but they're telling them those guys suck, but then they're saying the other guys are only good because that guy was so great and a Hall of Famer. So these Giant fans and the Eagles and the Washington, all the haters, they're about as dumb as a rock. But what do you guys think of all that? I mean, when you hear that, should we not be aggravated when people say that and just kind of just basically take the Gogan route and just tell them to go fuck themselves? That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, why would you entertain that?
Yeah, I wouldn't entertain that at all. That's just.
Well, it's
not worth my time.
Yeah, well, there's some people that you just like kind of got to just move on. It's like that guy that was in the chat. I think he was in there last week and he was in there the week before. I don't know who the hell he was. I hadn't seen him since I said that I wasn't going to argue with an idiot that said some dumb shit like what he said. But when he said that Quincy Carter was better than Dak Prescott, that's what he said in the chat. And then he was saying some crazy shit last week. And I said, listen, I see that, a certain user is talking in the chat. I'm going to refuse to read anything you put in there. And I'm afraid to take anything because I'm not going to take – after you said that dumb stuff, I said, I can't acknowledge you anymore. I can't talk football with somebody that's in – it's like, if you sit there and you have a conversation with somebody and they say, the earth is flat, right? It's better for me just to get my shit and walk away because it's just going to make me angry trying to argue with a person that has that level of ignorance. I'm all for debate. I'm all for debate. If somebody wants to have an argument that Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts, which one's better, I'll debate that all day. I mean, because, it's a debatable topic. But certain things, you gotta just walk away from, man. Walk away from. Yeah. Troy Aikman's resume speaks for itself.
Yeah. And the thing is I'm glad Ultra said that because I've talked about it a million times. And, when we've had Gogan on, we talked about it. A lot of people get this perception that the Cowboys just had this unbelievable offensive line of all-world talent, these guys that were first-round draft pick, top 5 guys. 3 of the 5 were with Tom Landry era. I got to grab this phone. Go ahead and talk about something else. Let me grab the caller.
All right.
Well,
I just want to make sure. Well, first of all, I want to see what this call is all about. But after the call, I got to jump off. But I need to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're talking September 22nd. That's the tailgate. That's what we're definitely doing.
That is the tailgate.
Because I saw a couple people also asking in the comments section. Okay.
Yep.
So guys, mark your calendars.
I think we got our caller in. Caller, are you in?
Yeah, that's right. It's me, Django Fett. What's going on, Cowboys Nation?
What is up, man? How's it going? Can you guys hear him good?
What's happening? Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. I'm here.
So, what you think about the schedule? Man. What do you want to talk about? Aikman, were you calling about that thing, or you want to talk about the schedule?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the schedule. I'm looking at it right here on DallasCowboys.com, and the first 7 or 8 weeks is going to tell the story about who this team really is.
No doubt.
Looking at this so far, as far as the matchups that kind of stand out to me, obviously the Ravens matchup, the Steelers matchup. Of course, that goes back decades. The Lions matchup looks vicious. I'm just not sold on the Eagles because they got our offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, and he's going to implement those traffic jam the passing offense where you're going to have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown running patterns in the same area. So that's an easy interception for anybody like DeRon Bland. But we got to get back at those damn 49ers. that they are the thorn in our side, other than Green Bay. But we got to get them. We've got to absolutely just go out there to Frisco and just handle business. The good news is we don't have Dan Quinn anymore. So now with Mike Zimmer at the helm defensively, we have a shot, and he's got a 4-2 record against Mike Shanahan. So I'm really liking our chances on that front. So, but the first 7 or 8 weeks are going to tell the story about who this team is. I want to say if we could come out of there at 5-2, or even at 4-3, the second half of that schedule, the back end of that schedule, looks like I won't say it's a cakewalk, but it looks favorable.
Yeah.
It looks very much favorable. You know, you don't know who's going to show up for Cincinnati this year. You don't know what they're going to look like. Houston, they've got the boy wonder, so that's a rivalry. Tampa, you don't know who's going to show
how C.J. Stroud does his second year, right? I mean,
could have a sophomore slump.
Sophomore jinx.
So, but
right, and the sophomore jinx is another thing too. So, will he be the same cat that he was last year? Will teams cheer up for him? And when they do, let's see what he's really made of.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about, and we'll get everyone's opinion, because that's the one, right? The Niners. The Niners are their Achilles heel, and there was a time that we dominated the Niners in the 90s, of course, but it hasn't worked out for the Cowboys. You know, you talk about Zimmer. I don't know. You sound like you might be an old school Cowboy fan, so maybe you got a lot of history with Zimmer when he was a coordinator with the Cowboys for a lot of years. You see what he can do.
Oh yeah, I do.
So what is it?
I remember those.
The good days. So what do you, when you're seeing this matchup,
good old days,
what does the Cowboys, what do they got to do to get over this hump against the 49ers? What do you got to see?
I think what they have, we've got to put it this way. We have a defensive personnel that can stop the Niners offense, or that can limit them. Brock Purdy is not who he's made out to be. I saw the Ravens defense do this, demoralize him last year in that Christmas night game. They literally gave the league the blueprint on how to stop this guy. All you got to do is get into the passing lanes. You get into his passing lanes, the trajectories on his throws are basically low. He depends upon a short range passing attack, and most of his throws, for the most part, are going to go to Kittle. Or they're going to go to Tebow. He might hit, Brandon Ayuk on a deep slant every now and then. But most of the time, he's going to, when he's passing the ball, Kittle is his man, and he's going to pass the ball anywhere between 8 to 10 yards. So what the Ravens did was basically, they got into the passing lanes, they tipped the ball, they either tipped the ball in the air, and now they're picked it out of the air themselves, or they just knocked it down.
Yeah.
But in doing that, they stymied the Niners offense, and they literally exposed Brock Purdy for who he was. And I knew this, but I think everyone knew Brock Purdy from the beginning wasn't, and still is not, the answer in San Francisco. That defense and that running game carried him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
See,
Jimmy wants to chime in. Jimmy, what do you got to say?
Now, look, I'm a Falcons fan. I'm not a Niners fan, but I've been saying, I'm a shill for Brock Purdy. I believe in the guy. Look, he did get work that what was it, Christmas night game against the Ravens. But at the end of the day, I think he's for real. Unfortunately, the Niners are the cream of the crop, and I think that he's legit. So I got to disagree with you on. I think the Ravens had his number that day, because he got him to the Super Bowl.
I think what you're saying is, what I would say is, the physicality is something, right? The Cowboys haven't had that physicality on defense. That's what you got to do, get in the passing lane. But you got to hit his ass. You got to rattle him.
Exactly.
Can't make him comfortable.
You got to.
You
got to.
It's a rhythm offense.
And then
Kelly,
on offense.
Wait, Kelly, you had something to say on the defense?
No, I was just saying. I said it's the Niners. I was just agreeing. I said I think the Niners got a rhythm offense. So if you knock them off rhythm early, then that's your best chance to do that. But yeah.
And what do you think offensively? Do you think the Cowboys offensively with the running game, are you concerned with running back by committee, the philosophy they're going into with the season? Do you think we've got enough running backs? Do you think that'll work?
We do, but I mean, I'm a traditional Cowboy fan. I go all the way back to the days of Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith. You know, I believe in that workhorse back that you use on defense like the 49ers, and you just grind their asses into submission.
Yeah.
This running back by committee crap, I mean, it's just an aspect of a passing attack. That's all it is. When it comes time for the playoffs, you saw what happened last year. Who got to the Super Bowl, or who advanced at least? Teams that had to run the rock.
Yep.
You know, teams that could run the ball, shove it down your throat, control the clock, and keep the other teams off the field and wear down that opposing defense.
Yeah.
And getting Zeke back, I don't know. Well, I mean, Zeke traditionally would be that January back, but I mean, the hindsight, then this is just me. I wish we would have went out and drafted Blake Corum from Michigan, because he's that January back with fresh legs. They can wear down a defense like the 49ers in January.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree.
And that's what the Cowboys, I believe, need to get back to.
That's the part that's my Achilles heel. It was that way last year. I was kind of worried about it. I mean, I think Zeke has a role. I think they could use him, you know, almost kind of like that Mark Ingram, you know, when Mark Ingram kind of extended his career a little bit, like he did in the Ravens and the Saints and stuff like that. Yeah. I think he can have a role, but you got to have another guy. And I don't know who the main guy is. I don't know if it's Rico. I mean, we all wanted Rico to get the ball more, right? And he didn't. So I don't know if he's the guy. I don't think Deuce Vaughn's the guy, right? I don't think none of us think that. So I don't know if they have him on the roster. Maybe it's someone they get. Maybe, you know, you got these teams with plethora of running backs that may have to part with one of them because like the Jets have so many, and some of these teams drafted and got a lot that I don't know if they're going to be able to find one. But that's the thing that gets me concerned, is exactly what you said with the running game. So
right, because I mean, you gotta wear down the way to beat the Niners. You got to wear their defense down. You got to keep them on the field, keep them honest. Bring Fred Warner and those linebackers up to the line of scrimmage and put pressure on their secondary. You know, I mean, the Niners defense. I mean, it's a very well-run, well-oiled machine, like any other defense. If you get them off kilter, you can kill them deep in the passing game.
Yeah,
you can do that.
No.
So I mean, we have the ability to do this. It's just that Dan Quinn. I mean, Kyle Shanahan knew Dan Quinn like the back of his hand. But this time around with Zimmer, I think that you're going to feel hopefully a different result. But hopefully we can get that Niner monkey off our backs for a chance.
I said it last year, right, Kelly? If they could just beat the damn Niners, I think it would be like like the big monkey off your back, and I think they could kind of roll with a lot of confidence if they could just get over. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all about performing in those big moments. And again, though, I mean, you know, I'm gonna sound like a broken record a lot over the next, you know, well, as soon as football starts, the next 18 weeks. I'm not good at math. I don't know how many weeks it is at the end of the season, so I'm not going to scramble my brain up here. But this team has just got me so jaded right now when it comes to everything that I've seen. So again, I would love to beat the Niners, but I mean, I feel like we could drop 42 points on the Niners and beat them 42-7, and I'm still going to think I'm not buying into this team. I'm not going to buy into this team until they stomp and roll a team in the first round of the playoffs, and then they come into the second round of the playoffs and they do it again, and they show me they can do it again. They show me they can get past this divisional round. Then I'm going to say, that's the Cowboys team we need to see. Now I got faith in them. Now I'm buying in. Now I want these tickets. I believe in you, Dallas Cowboys. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to cheer for every game. I'm going to be optimistic. But I just, you know, I guess I'm going to try to trust my eyes, man, because I know last year I really was hyped on this Cowboys team for a little bit, but then I started seeing that disturbing trend that when we'd play a team over 500, our defense just bent over, grabbed their ankles, and said, hey, do an ice cube with no Vaseline, because that's exactly what happened. 32 points a game with teams over 500. And 32 points a game is what our defense gave up. We're supposed to be the number 5 defense in the league. No, we just beat the hell out of bad teams is what we did. We capitalized against teams with horrible offenses. And then when a team with a good offense came around, that all went out the window. So I guess I'm just going to trust my eyes, man. But don't get me wrong. I'd love to beat the Niners. But what I want more than anything is I'd love to beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'd take a regular season loss.
Exactly.
we could play them in the playoffs and then beat their ass in the playoffs and send their cocky asses packing.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, what was your name again? Because I didn't catch it when you first came on.
Oh, man, you see me on Twitter. My real name is Richard, but I'm Django Fett on Twitter.
Oh, okay, cool. Are you going to any games? You going to any? Do you go to any games, road games or home games or anything like that, or no?
Oh, well, I live in New Orleans, so when the Cowboys come down here, I'm there. I almost ended up going to the Giants game for Thanksgiving last year because I was in town with the relatives. I'm gonna try to. I wish that Saints game was down here the second game of the season. I would definitely be there.
Atlanta's not far from you, though. Be there, but Atlanta's not far. No.
Oh, no. Atlanta's not far at all. I could drive to Atlanta.
Yeah, well, we're going to be in Atlanta. We got a crew. We got a crew out at Atlanta. So if you end up going to Atlanta, make sure you hit us up on Twitter or any social media, whatever works. And we'd love to get you out there and hang with the Cowboys Cave and have a good tailgate party.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, I like that.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
Hey guys, look, I got to bounce. Thanks for the call. Great call. Look, I got to bounce. All right, it was fun.
Well, you guys enjoy
real quickly. Cuts.
Man, what's up?
Cuts. You know what? One word. Brick. I'm out, guys. See you next time.
All right. See you, Jimmy.
Peace out, Jimmy.
All right. Let's see. We got Ronnie. Ronnie is back. What is up, my man? How's it going?
How's it going?
Good.
What's going on, big dog?
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on the schedule? What's your thoughts on now everything's laid out, the dates are there. Now you can you take a look at that schedule. How you feeling about the way it's laying out for these Cowboys?
I just we start looking at everything. We're kind of wanted to chime in on what y'all were talking about as far as the running game, as far as those kind of things. We had the NFL's leading rushers before. We had the Zeke and all that. We've had the quarterbacks that led the league in touchdowns and passing yards and all that. I think at some point our defense just has to step up. And I feel like we go back and we can talk about the Aikman days and we can talk about all that. But our defense was so solid back then. And it's just what doesn't happen for us. And I think that's been one of the bigger issues. I mean, being consistent in what we do. Being consistent. I don't see us just playing consistent in the defensive side of the ball. And I hope with Zimmer that's what happens, that we start to get consistent, because we can go and give up 100 yards rushing one game, and then also we give up 220. Let's get consistent on what we do, and whenever you're consistent, you can game plan to consistency. And then, if we're not doing that, how can you win games? How can you win games?
Yeah. No, good point, man. Then the defense. Last year I think that Dan Quinn really got it. I think his defense really got exposed though by some of the better play callers and some of the better offenses. You just saw that defense really struggle against the better teams. I mean, even in the games that we did win against some of the better teams, Seattle was just moving the ball pretty much at will on us. It was hard to get stops. Dak goes down and responds in that Miami game, and the Dolphins come right back down. Quinn can't get a stop there, right back down the field, boom, and costs us the game. We lose that game. I mean, there was just the Lions game. There was several of the games. We were lucky enough to win the Lions game. We were lucky enough to win the Seattle game, but our defense did not come through with stops when we really needed them to. And I do feel like that Zimmer is going to bring some more consistency when it comes to that. And I think he's going to be more solid. We may not see, like I agree with Mike, we may not see a ton of turnovers with this defense, but I think we will see a lot more consistency. And I think that the fact that we're going to have actual linebackers playing linebackers is going to be a big difference too, because we've got guys that are the prototypical linebacker size. That was a problem last year. We've seen it. Runners get to that second level, and that's a problem because we got linebackers that can't shed blocks. We got linebackers that are not great in reading their assignments. They were in places that they shouldn't be. Because these are guys that there's a couple guys that just were not linebackers. We got guys as a safety out there playing linebacker. So I just like what we got this year schematically better on this defense. Plus, when you add in the return of Diggs, I think it's just going to allow this defense to jump, to go to another level, which, if you're Mike Zimmer, you got to be pumped up about taking over this defense because you got a lot of skill players. And you've got a lot of weapons on that defense. So if I'm Zimmer, I'm excited about getting out here and putting my game plan into effect.
And I think too, and get Mike, you want to chime in too on the defense. Ultra made a point. The defense gave up that touchdown against Green Bay. We got 3. Then I think they got a 3 and out. We threw a pick and whatever. But here's where the problem is, and that's exactly what he said. The defense quit. The defense can't quit. If the offense is struggling, the defense needs to step up. Look at what Kansas City did. Look at these other teams, these Super Bowl caliber teams. So you can't rely on the Dallas Cowboy offense to just light it up every single week. That's not fair to them. And at the end of the day, Dallas did get going. Now, did they get close enough? They got close enough, but every time it was just getting close enough, the defense got shredded again. So they never got a chance to get back going and get rolling. And people can call it garbage time. They didn't call it garbage time in '94 when the Cowboys were down 21-0 and they fought back and then it was a controversial PI. They call that one of the greatest games in Cowboys history. The way they fought back, the way they didn't quit, the way they didn't do all that. It's the same shit. In today's standard, they might call that garbage time. But that's a team that didn't quit and wanted to keep fighting. The defense showed up. You don't see that with this Cowboys defense. And to your point, Ronnie, that's the concern. Mike, are we on point or you're young?
No, I'm on point. You're on point with what I was going to say.
What?
No, you're right on point with what I was going to say. I mean, this defense has to lock in, especially these first 8 weeks. I mean, they're going to be tested. They're playing some great offenses. If Zimmer has them locked in, we'll be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a test early, right, Ronnie? I mean, they're going to be tested early.
And that's the whole thing. I think whenever we look at that, like that second Super Bowl, Aikman had more interceptions than he did touchdowns going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but it's just that recipe. It's not nothing that hasn't been done before, but we just got to get back to that. And I think like having linebackers play linebacker spots, I think, working our tight ends, being true to the game, not gimmicks, not schemes, and hoping that we get by winning games that way. It just has to be, a hard game plan and just going after it. It's crazy that I think with the Dallas defense, it's always we see a different name emerge every 2 or 3 weeks under Dan Quinn's defense, which he was doing whatever he had to do to win, but that was the whole gimmick. That was what he was trying to do. Instead of having the Fred Warner just dominate, instead of having Micah just dominate, it always seemed like it was just part of his game plan. Why wasn't Micah moved around anymore? Why didn't we do those things as far as that? It was always just pin your nose down and just go, for Micah. And I don't. It's too good to just leave him in one spot.
Yeah, no. And congratulations, Ultra. You're getting me sucked in. Where the hell did you hear me say that Dak Prescott was Troy Aikman? Did you guys hear that? Did you hear me say that? Anyone?
No.
He sucks me in. He knows how to get to me. He knows how to. I like your tricks, Ultra. You know how to do it. You say I'm going to get Mike. I'm going to call him either a Dak lover or I'm going to say he's. I've never compared him to Troy Aikman. Never will. I've argued Troy Aikman with people because people want to sit there and minimize how great he was. So ease up on that, Ultra. Eight is number one in my eyes, and it would take a couple Super Bowls for me that put someone else above him after of course Roger Staubach as well.
I will say this though, man. If somehow, some way, Dak ends up with 2 Super Bowls, I would say to get 2. I don't think he would have to get 3. But if Dak was somehow to manage in his career to get 2 Super Bowls late in his career, he would end up being the greatest Dallas Cowboy of all time, quarterback wise. And I say that because he would have the championships and he would have the numbers to back it up because passing completions, touchdowns. I mean, everything when it comes, and I'm a guy that doesn't just focus on the stats. I look to win. Can you win when it matters the most? Because we've talked about it before. Your legacy is made in the playoffs. So right now, Dak's legacy is what it is. What he's 2-5 in the playoffs. It's not great, right? But if he was to manage to win 2 Super Bowls, then he'd go down and he'd be the greatest Dallas Cowboys quarterback to play the game. And I don't think anybody would really be able to argue that at that point. But we just need to get him.
Yeah, let's get one. Let's get one out.
Let's get
one. I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there.
Hey, I agree with you 100%. Though I think if he does get one, he's going to get 2. I think they'll figure it out. I think if he does get one, I think he'll get 2. And I'm gonna leave you on this. And I'm a Dak fan a little bit. I'm over the top. I'm a Dak supporter. I think he does what he does. And I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick, and then I'll let y'all cut loose. In that I met Dak his rookie year, and it was me and my dad. We went to a signing, and we went over there. We did everything. Went and took a picture with him. Went and did all that stuff. And my dad started walking away. My dad lost my dad last year. And that me and my dad, we're big Cowboys fans and that, but he believed in Dak, and he walked away. My dad was walking away. I shook Dak's hand. And my dad's probably about 10 feet away, and he turns around and he says, Hey, sir. And my dad turns around, and Dak walks up to my dad, and he puts his hand out to shake his hand without wanting him to walk away. And my dad looks at him, and he tells him, he says, Are you going to win us the Super Bowl? And Dak turned around, and he looked him square in his eyes and said, Yes, sir, I am. And he said, I'm going to hold you to it. He said, I want you to. I want you to hold me to it. And, for that moment, and I get it. Everything's still got to happen on the field. But his character, he's going to do whatever he can to win the Super Bowl, and I believe that. And that just by showing the man he is, the way he carries himself, he's going to do whatever he has to do. And I'm happy that he's there in Dallas, and I hope they keep him there. So he's done, man.
No, what a great story. And definitely sorry for your loss. And hopefully, do you get out to AT&T or anything? Do you get out to any games? Or?
Yeah, I make it out there. I'm going to try to hopefully be there. I'm going to Pittsburgh for week 5. And hopefully I'll be able to head out there for week 3 for that Ravens game. But
love to see you at the Cowboys Cave tailgate party, man. Be great person as well. Appreciate it.
So you inspired my cave a bit too, Mike.
I mean, I gotta see what you got. What are you working with?
What?
There. Let me see your cave. I'm seeing your stuff.
I ended up. I went a little too much. So I built me a 2,000 square foot cave.
I like it. A lot bigger than mine.
And so we got a little ambit here, and what they call it. So I'll take you on a little.
Well, I'll give you this: clean lines. I like that. If you notice in my cave, everything. I'm not a clutter. Not that there's anything wrong with the clutter, but I'm more of a clean lines kind of guy. So, but I like what you got there for sure.
Yeah.
That's
impressive.
That's very impressive.
But it's come along pretty good. I mean,
basketball.
Yeah, it's a pretty good work in progress.
Well, hey, are you on Twitter or Instagram? What are you on?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, and then I'm following.
All right, hey, hit me a DM with your address. I want to send you something for your cave. I'm gonna send you.
I
something.
sure will.
Yeah, hit me up. All right.
All right. Y'all be good, man.
All right. I'll see you.
See you, bro.
All right.
Look at that, Mike's a man of the people.
I am a man of the people. I love when people are doing stuff. Man, did you get mine? Did you get the package I sent?
Well, when did you send it? I hadn't checked my mail in a couple of days.
Well, what's his name got it? He got it a while ago, man. You would have got it. You should have got it by now. Greg got it like a week ago. He messaged me.
Oh shit, and he's in California, ain't he?
Man, I hope them tornadoes or something didn't mess something up.
I don't know. I'll have to go and I don't know. I'll go take a look I'll go take a look. I check my mailbox probably about twice a week. It's usually.
Oh,
yeah.
but it's an oversized. It's Tony Hill and Brad Johnson, Moose. It's
well,
all
I'm
the.
about to go check my mailbox after I get out of here and see if it's there. If it's not, I'll have to let you know.
Yeah, please, because I mailed it out and it should have been there. I mean, I'll be really pissed if it's not. So,
all right.
I got a cave work in progress.
Yeah, Mikey's got a little
cave
cave
right
there.
here.
He's got one
There you go.
jersey. He's got
There
a
you go.
flag.
I got a
Yes,
Hurricane
Brian.
jersey. I just can't see it. It's Portis.
Yeah, he's got Portis.
Oh, all right.
Hopefully Miami. Did you? I don't know if we were talking about it just to.
Yeah, I'm mad. No, I'm mad at you.
Well, let me explain to Kelly. He's a man of reason, and he can tell me if I'm being unreasonable. But Kelly lives in the life of luxury as well. We're spoiled maybe with Dallas being indoors, but so the Miami Hurricane game was announced. The Florida Gators and a bunch of us were going to go. Had a whole thing planned, and we all bet on the game was going to be at night. And the game is at 3:30 in the afternoon in Gainesville in that heat swamp. And I'm not going. I mean, no one, my brother doesn't want to go. My friend doesn't want to go. My dad said he's not going. Mikey's the only one who wants to go, but he's 20 years old. I'm sorry, you're 19 in a couple months.
I'll go with my friends.
My body can't. Can you do that, Kelly? Can you sit out in the and does that heat get the heat? The humidity can't. I can't take it no more.
So, man, I tend to be able to block everything out if I'm drinking cold beer. So I go to the College World Series every year in Omaha, and I go to at least one game. But if when my team's made it in the past, I've went to several games, and I'll tell you what, it's the 2:00 game because they have the 2:00 game slots. They're a little insane, man, because the humidity here in Omaha is pretty insane. I know a lot of people don't think like, the Midwest, it doesn't get – no, it's high. You're talking 95 degrees and humidity index up towards 8. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I can go out there, though, man, as long as I've got a cold beer in my hand and I'm able to keep drinking some cold beer. It makes me feel, kind of cool. And then, just catch the sun. So if it's a good sporting event, I'm going to do it.
It's 100,000+ people in a aluminum bench. Now, we ain't watching it at AT&T. We're not watching the Hard Rock. It's old school aluminum bench, no back seat, no none of that. And that aluminum's heating up. Your ass is burning.
It's making my back hurt. It's making my back hurt just now, just kind of thinking about it. I don't know.
I don't know why they made it a 3:30 game.
I don't know either.
They gotta respect the people sometimes.
Yeah. So here's what I offered as a consolation. But real quick, Greg asked, how do we join your tailgate? Very simple. You show up. We will be taking just some food donations, not food, but if you want to, Cuts will get the food and all that stuff. So we'll be taking some monetary donations if you want to, $10, whatever it is, to help cover the food. And we'll buy beer and we'll get some liquor. All the money that we get is 100% towards the tailgate event. So we got everything set up. We'll have some tents. We'll have all the stuff up. So really all you got to do is show up, follow Kelly, follow me, follow Mikey on Twitter. We'll be putting out posts kind of as things are gearing up. So if you're not on Twitter, you can follow us on Instagram.
Greg said my hometown Omaha. So if you live in Omaha, man, I live in Omaha. You have to hit me up, man. I'll go grab a beer and I'll invite you. Shit, we got a Cowboys watch party here with about 40-50 Cowboys fans every Sunday here in Omaha, man. So you'll have to if you're on Twitter, shoot me a DM. But yeah, man, right here in Omaha myself. So but yeah, just show up. That's it. Just show up. It's a badass time, and like I said, everybody that comes usually just kicks the 10 for the food. And then last year we had so much beer and alcohol, man, it was insane. I bought a bottle of tequila about the size of my upper body. It was like a bottle like that. It was huge. And we were taking shots, and I still had like over half of that bottle left when we went into the game. We didn't even put a dent in that damn thing.
No. So we'll have enough. Hey, Greg's in. I don't know, Greg. I was going to call you, but I think you've been on like a vacation with seeing your family and having a great time seeing all your family. But if you're back in your cave, you let us know. you hop in here and talk a little bit. If not, we got to catch up when you get back in town. But the tailgate is going to be the Ravens. So we got the Ravens, the Cowboys Cave tailgate party is going to be the Ravens week 3. And then we are doing the Atlanta game. Kelly, are you in on the Atlanta game, or are you
I'm in
kind
on
of
the Atlanta game.
You're in?
I'm
Okay.
in.
All right.
I
So
would
Kelly's
go to
in on
Atlanta.
the Atlanta game. Mikey, I mean that's a game I'm driving to. So if you want to, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I would go. I never
Yeah.
been to Atlanta Stadium, so I would totally go.
So we got the Atlanta game, so we're gonna do that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So Greg, hopefully you can make both of them. I know Cuts is going to be at the Atlanta. Doug is going to be at the Atlanta. So we've got a huge crowd for the Atlanta. I might propose something to some people, some VIP kind of stuff, but we'll get something going. Bugsy's in, so I think he's in both of them. So we're gonna have a good group. So I have a call from the visit, but I'm hanging in there. Well, I hope you feel better. Definitely, you need to get back in the cave next week and let's break some of this stuff down. But just looking at the schedule again, and I was kind of taking a peek at the Eagles' schedule, and the interesting thing is, I don't know if you guys looked at it. They have, I think Steven mentioned it, so I peeked at it. 4 out of their last 5 games. I gotta grab the call. 4 out of the last 5 games is at home, and not tough games.
Oh shit!
I didn't see the schedule yet.
When do the tickets already on sale right now?
They're probably gonna be showing up on there.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for the Falcons Cowboys ticket. It's funny.
Right, we got a caller. We want to hear what they. Can you hear us, caller?
I can hear you.
What's up, man? What's your name? Because I missed it.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Donovan.
Oh, Donovan, how's it going, man?
What's up, Donovan?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good, brother.
I think you've called in before, haven't you?
Yes, sir. We talked right after they lost in the playoffs.
Oh God, I remember that.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
I try and forget that.
You know what? I still haven't forgotten it, but oh well.
Yeah. Well, it's a new season. It's like I told some guy, he said, you guys lost in the first round. And I said, well, why are you living in the past? This is a new season.
Right.
Why, we always get yelled at for all that kind of stuff. So it's a new season. So what's your thoughts on the schedule? I mean, anything intrigue you or even how the Cowboys, I mean, how you feeling about the offseason? We hadn't talked since that disappointing day. I mean, what are you thinking?
It's been kind of what I thought it would be in the off season. Very slow, and sorry about my voice.
No worries.
But yeah, they just I think when Jerry said all in, people went crazy. But what he really meant was, well, we're all in on what we have. So I think that's what we're gonna see this year is they're gonna go with these young players and just see where it falls. And like I was telling you back then, I think, depending on what happens, they could be just getting ready to blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, just start over again. But I think one thing that intrigues me about the schedule, the first half of that schedule is really going to test them physically.
Yes.
You're talking about some teams that are really physical that can run the football. And so, that's the biggest thing that sticks out to me. Running the football, and are we going to be able to run the football? So that's one thing. And also this year, the home games really stick out to me too. I mean, they really stick out. When you're talking about Baltimore and Detroit again, and you're talking about Houston and Cincinnati, so it's really.
Donovan, I'm sorry I cut you off. What I was going to say is because last year it seemed like all their hard games were on the road, so it was real easy for them to say we hadn't beat a team with a winning record when most of the tougher games were on the road. It's hard to win on the road. I mean, I think we all agree. Now it seems like it's about 50-50. They're hard games. There's half of them are at home, half of them on the road, so it's got a little bit more balance than it did last season for them.
Oh, sure it does. So I mean, and like I say, this is what happens when you win a division. You're gonna get a first place schedule. So, we'll just see. I'm interested to see with the defense. I know I was kind and well, you probably won't see all the turnovers that you saw last year, but you might see more of a defense that's focused on stopping the run. So that's going to be the biggest thing for me right there is can they stop the run on a consistent basis this year? Because I mean, like we say, we're talking about some of the backs that they're going to see this year. It's going to be real interesting. And for me, I'm not one that likes the atmosphere that they've created as far as show me, because you got basically the whole coaching staff on a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
You got your quarterback still on, getting ready to end his deal. So I mean, it's a lot of things just up in the air with this show me attitude. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this all comes together. But that first half of the year, man, really is intriguing, and how they going to be able to come up and be physical with these teams that want to punch you in the mouth.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Any comment, Kelly or Mike?
No, I agree. You just want to see if this
Kelly,
team,
what's up?
what's going on, man? I'm just sitting over here waiting for some football, man. I'm rubbing my hands
Oh,
together down to one of these games, but I agree with you. I think we want to see if this team's going to be a team that's going to get more physical. You want to see this team be a little bit tougher. The Dallas Cowboys team for the past couple of years, it just seems like a finesse team, a little bit more finesse team. Anytime they go up against more physical teams, whether it was the Bills last year, the 49ers, the teams that just came in there and just took it to them and were like, we're going to be the more physical team. Dallas didn't have an answer for that. And that's the players got to go out and play, but I do believe that is a coaching, and that is you coach your team to be tough. You coach your team to be physical. I think that's something that can, that Zimmer can come in, and I think that he can instill that. And we've heard it from several people, guys that have come in, former players that we've talked about that know Mike Zimmer's defense. George Teague talked about it. Zimmer is an accountability guy, but he's also a guy that's going to make you, if you talk it, you better walk it. So that's something I'm looking forward to seeing with this team this year, man. Is having them, walk that talk.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you, Donovan, on that too. Is we talked earlier, and I want to get all four of you guys' opinion on it. I said before that the Cowboys, you're never gonna feel comfortable. You're never gonna feel confident because of what we went through. Obviously, last year, that playoff was just that loss was a punch in the gut. Is there any game on this schedule that if Dallas went in and played and won, and let's say they won an impressive game, is there anything that they would make you believers before the playoffs, or are you still always going to have that doubt in your head that they can get it done in the playoffs?
Well, I'm gonna give y'all two games right now that I want to see what's gonna happen. The one that would kind of change my tune a little bit, and people say I'm crazy, but hey, when you go to San Francisco, see that's a game to me that, look, when you start talking about what could potentially change your season, that's a game that could do that. And then later on in the year when you come home, because I'm here in Austin, and I'm telling y'all right now, all these people in Houston, they talking a lot of what.
Oh yeah.
And that's another game that I got my finger on too, because as we all know, they added a lot in the offseason to their team, so those are, but the San Francisco one that's still the one to me where I want to see, look, can you go, and again, we just talked about it, hey, be physical, match their physicality. When they hit you, can you hit them back? And can you go on the road and win a game like that, which they haven't done in a while? So that's it for me.
Yeah. Mikey, what do you think? And then Kelly, any confidence they can win back, or do you got to see it in the playoffs? You're never going to feel comfortable.
If they beat the 49ers, I'm in.
All right.
We have to beat the 49ers. I mean, it's been 3 years. right? It's been 3 years, right?
Yeah,
Wild
this is
card.
the 4th year. Yeah.
Yep. I love how it's always on the road too. Like
I know.
we don't get the home game.
Just the way the schedule works, it's just the luck of the draw, the way it just kind of worked out. So that's kind of how it's gone. But Kelly, you've been the one that you're the hardest to win over. But so I will ask you, that puts you on the spot. Is there any game? Will you kind of change your tune, or is it going to be I'm not all in until the playoffs?
What I would have to see in order to make me buy in before the playoffs is I'm gonna have to see it happen with consistency. For me, it just can't be one game. It has to be that this is a team that I can trust, because last year I had my doubts, major doubts. Now I thought we were going to beat Green Bay. I legitimately thought we were, but I did not think that this team was about to make a Super Bowl run. I didn't. I thought that they would beat Green Bay, and then I thought the next round we were probably going to get eliminated. That's kind of where I was at, because of some of the inconsistencies I saw with the defense, some of the inconsistencies with the offense at times. And that's what I'm going to need to see is consistency. So like if they're going out and they're playing against one of the, let's say they're playing the Ravens, really good team 3, and they lose it, but it's a close game. It's they fought tooth and nail and they lost this game by like 3 points, but then they had beat the Browns, they beat the Saints, and then the next week after they lose, they follow it up, and they've got another who I can't remember who they play after that. But if they consistently play well against these good teams, because what I thought and what I saw too often last year was, we got pushed around and embarrassed. I mean, the Niners, they just smoked us. The Bills, they smoked us. I mean, it was just bad. There was some bad losses and just reasons why you shouldn't have felt optimistic about this team. So I guess what I'm going to need to see is I'm going to need to see this team be consistent through 17 games. Show me who you are. And that's the team that I know that's going to show up on Sunday, because last year you never really knew. You didn't. You felt hyped. You felt good. There was things that made you feel good. I mean, anytime your team smokes another team like 42-3, you feel good. But then you look back on it and you say, well, that was a shitty team. What do we do against the better teams? So it was just too inconsistent. They were up and down last year. So that's what I need to see, me personally.
Yeah. Now I know
I don't have Green Bay on.
Can't argue that. Can't argue with that. That's 100% right. So Donovan, anything else on your mind? Do you go to the AT&T? Are we going to see you out there? You going to be hanging with us a little bit or what?
Well, guys, I'm already planning as we speak because I'm gonna be in Dallas, Texas OU weekend. So I'm gonna try to get. I'm already getting plans ready to get to the Detroit game.
Okay, well, cool.
There we go.
We will be there. We won't have our Cowboys Cave tailgate party, but I'll be able to. So I will be. I'm sure we'll be at the game. But
absolutely,
yes, it'll be good. To,
and like I say, I'll be looking for you guys, and finally get a chance to meet you guys, and here we are up on another season, and hey, we just let the chips fall where they may. Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys.
I appreciate it, man. Take care. That's
Absolutely,
all you can do.
I appreciate the call, man.
All right, thank you.
Look forward to meeting you. Take care, man. And that's why I tell people. I mean, that's really at the end of the day, it's the season. It's like, someone comment, "Oh, we're going to be 8-9," and it's easy to be negative. It's easy to just
so easy.
That's low hanging fruit. It's you hold yourself to low standards, you get low results. You don't feel like you're hurt. I mean, I'm a fan, and I don't know about. I expect to win every game. Now, are we going to win every game? No, but I wouldn't be going. I'm not spending my time and my money and all my energy if I think we're just going to lose. So I'm all in on this team. I'm in on the 53 guys that are going to bust their ass every game to try and get us a victory, and that's all you could do as a fan. All you can do as a fan is support it, and more importantly, hang out with the great fan base that we have at Cowboys Nation. So. Like Donovan said, man, we're going to run this thing, and we're going to let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully it's a better ending than that we've had the last 20-something years. But it's hard to win Super Bowls. I think, is there 14 or 16 teams in this NFL that hasn't won a Super Bowl? I mean, it's a lot of teams.
Yeah, I mean,
there's there's several. I know that it's there's a decent amount of them that haven't. And there's a lot of them that haven't won in a long time. for as much as the Niners fans run their mouths and talk about this or that, their drought is longer than the Dallas Cowboys drought.
Yep.
The only thing they have to bump their heads on is their participation trophies, where they've went a little bit further
in the last 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They're 0-3.
Yeah.
0-3. And I think, SoCal 10-7. Yeah, it could be. I mean, the schedule's tough. I would say if they're 10-7, 11-6, I think they're a better team than they were last year.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, they definitely could be. They're going to get tested. I mean, I think this schedule is harder than last year's schedule, honestly.
Oh, way harder.
I think it's got a lot more talent. I think somebody said in the chat earlier that it's 9 playoff teams that we're playing. That's over half your schedule. Now, obviously, from one year to the next, just because there's 9 playoff teams from last year doesn't mean it's going to be 9 playoff teams this year. That could change, and most likely it will. There's going to be a team or two that people expected that may have a major injury that's going to have them drop off. Hell, it could be us. You never know how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready to get back to football. I'm going to be honest with you. I couldn't resist it. I was sitting over here and I was looking at SeatGeek. I'm already thinking about buying my Falcons ticket for the Falcons game already. I'm ready to
Well, we'll get, man. If you patient, I'm gonna try and I can get I'll talk to you, I'll talk to Cuts, and I know Bugsy talked about it, is we could try. I'll try and I don't mind buying all the time. I trust you guys aren't gonna not show up or not reimburse me. But
we can sit together. Okay.
Yeah, that way we're not all sitting in crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely.
We go in as a pack. You got to go in as a pack.
We gotta go in as a pack.
That's right. All right. Well, I'll pump the brakes. I won't snag the ticket yet.
And I'll talk to you guys, and we'll figure out what's a budget. What do we want to? We don't need to. I'm not. I have my seats for the Cowboys. I spoil myself a little bit for that, but when I go to these road games, I'll sit up or down. I don't really give a shit. I go there for the experience of hanging with people. So we'll make it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to drop $500-600 on a damn ticket. I'll take the nose. I'll be in the nosebleed. That's where I sat for the Lions game. Actually, the Cowboys Lions game with my nephew. We were sitting up. I think it was 300 or 400 section. I think it was 400 section. We were at the top. I know that, but we had a great time, man. We had a blast. We were there at the game, and actually 300 section. It was one section above us because I remember turning around and waving bye to them when we beat the Lions. But it was a fun time. I don't care, man, where I sit as long as I'm at the game and just enjoying the atmosphere. That's what it's all about. And that I will say that the Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz.
That stadium looks pretty impressive, man. That looks.
It looks cool. It looks cool.
So
I've been to the game, and I will tell you, hands down, the best fan experience that you can have at a game I had there.
Really?
The fans are fun. They're not mean, rude jerks. I mean, everyone's laughing. There's a lot of Cowboy fans there too. There's gonna be a lot of Cowboy fans there.
Oh yeah.
But it is just cracking on each other, and it's all in fun. It's not mean spirited, but it's old school, just cracking on each other, having, jawing back and forth in a great way. And so it is, I've seen the Cowboys and Falcons play there probably 5 or 6 times, over the years between that one and the Georgia Dome and all that. And every time it's been a hell of a good time. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time with it. So,
oh yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we've been kicking it for an hour and 45. Is there any other news or anything that the concessions are cheap too, which is actually really cool. Is there anything that we're missing, Kelly or Mike? Anything in the news? Anything that
I heard something about if they don't extend Dak, I heard they were gonna look at Shador, Deion's kid, the quarterback.
No,
I wouldn't do it, but that's I wouldn't be surprised if that makes sense, because I know Deion and Jerry are like this. So I know Jerry's met with Shador before. I saw a video.
My only thing with those guys is that I don't think that's true. I think they're going to extend Dak, but
I hope they extend.
When I've looked at him, I am quickly because I was a huge fan and have been of Deion, but it's that act for me is starting to wear thin, man. I'm just not I'm not really a fan anymore of the way that Sanders has been handling himself with some of the comments that he's made about former teammates. You know, telling a guy, well, I never heard of him. He must have been mid. Like, there's certain things as a quarterback, as a leader, that you don't say, because that's not gonna fly in a locker room, and it's not gonna fly against a bunch of other professionals. So, you know, when I look at him and I sit there and he's calling somebody else mid, I'm like, look, man, you quarterbacked the team, won 4 games last year. I get that Colorado only won 1 game the year before, but you won 4, so you won 3 more. Don't sit out there and come bump your gums and make it seem like you came out here and got that team anywhere close to a bowl game, because you didn't. So you had some ballers on that team. You had some players. You got your dad coaching. So if I'm Deion, I'm telling him to kind of tone it down just a little bit, which is probably not Deion's style. He don't tone anything down.
But that's a problem that I have with like, I love Deion. I love Deion's coach. I think he's bringing college football into another level. But the problem I have is that him saying with Travis and Shador, they're only playing for these teams. They're not playing in the cold. I'm like, how are you gonna that you're not only hurting their draft stock, but I mean you're just making a fool out of yourself.
Yeah, well, it's starting to sound a little bit more like that the LeVar Ball guy that came out and got everybody.
Yeah.
And all that does is puts a target on their back, because everybody hated those dudes before they even played a minute of basketball. And they're like, they hate him. Mm-hmm. They had a target on their back. People were wishing for their failure. Yeah. So now you've got people hating Shador. You've got
they hate Travis.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
It's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like,
I would just say is with Deion. I mean, I love Deion. I mean, obviously, I grew up. That's my era. His kid is just what he is now is everything that's wrong with what I feel with the Cowboys now, where it's not about winning. It's not about. I think it's more about the brand. It's not about the wins. And I think you're trying to get back to that. That's what the Cowboys need to get back to. And if they did that, I think you're just it wouldn't go well. And I think for Shador, I mean, they lost 6 in a row, 7 in a row. Good story. I like Deion. I think what he's done with
I like all of them. I like
a good thing, but it's that hopefully that doesn't happen. I think they're going to extend Dak. I'll be honest. I think they're going to do it in July, August time frame, and then I think CD is going to be right there. I don't think Parsons is going to get done, but I don't think it needs to. I think Parsons can get done next year. I don't think it needs to get done now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree, and I think that I really do. I think that Dak gets signed before. I think Dak gets signed before the season starts, and because I keep hearing people say, "Well, he's on a prove-it deal. They're going to let him play out the season." I just don't think you can do that if you're the Cowboys. If you got faith in Dak, why would you? Why would you take that Why would you take that chance? I mean, because here's the thing, I don't see it happening this year at this point. But crazier things have happened. If Dak goes out and wins a Super Bowl this year, think about his price tag now versus price tag as a Super Bowl winner, and possibly.
Oh yeah, it goes up.
I mean, you're talking about, maybe not doubling his contract, but you're talking about a significant amount more money you're going to have to pay him, and he has all the leverage at that point, because he'll be a free agent, and there will be other teams falling over themselves to sign Dak Prescott. I just don't think you can take that gamble. I think if you're the Cowboys front office and you believe in Dak, you sign him before the season starts.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the same thing with CD. And someone said in the chat that CD's agent is waiting for Justin Jefferson to sign. I don't know if that's true or not.
That could be true. I think he could be waiting for that. He could be waiting for Dak to get done. I mean, I don't know
that just puts us in a tough spot.
I don't know how excited CD would be if he didn't have Dak Prescott and not know who your quarterback is. I mean, there's a lot of variables in there, but I just tell you, I looking at the schedule, I'm excited. I think it's
the season's about. We're very close. We just have a couple months, but it'll be here before you know it.
It'll go by so quick.
I'll be playing the college football game all summer, and it'll be here before.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to it too, but
yeah, we're gonna let you know who wins between the two of you. I just want to know.
Come on now.
You have to know. I'm gonna have to know who gets schooled.
The game is Kelly. This game is a little bit like these kids. All the buttons and all. It's just a different.
Stop this! Stop this!
It's just different,
Dad.
And then they have cheat codes. They got all these little codes. He's
God
doing.
forbid I get a pick and you say it's cheating.
It's just yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know what you guys playing on, PS5 or Xbox?
I play on Xbox.
I have
but
I'm
play
a
on
PlayStation.
PS5
I'm
all the
old
time.
school, so I have PlayStation 5.
I got the Xbox because it's cheaper.
We got both consoles here. We got two Xbox consoles and two PS5s here in the house. So I'm gonna get the game, man, and I'll get the game. We'll have to do some gaming this summer.
Yeah, we could do
Oh
that.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
We
Cowboys
can do a big
tournament.
dynasty.
Do a Cowboys Cave tournament.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we can do a big Cowboys Cave Dynasty League.
Oh yeah,
I like the college football on video.
Madden is so
awesome.
it's so bad. It's so bad. Madden gets boring so fast. It's not bad, but the presentation is just
it's all the same shit. They just make it complicated, but it'll be fine.
Right.
But hey, we're getting close.
The trailer
to it.
drops tomorrow, so it's a big day tomorrow.
What? Oh, the trailer?
The trailer for the game drops tomorrow, so everyone's looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, what I'm looking forward to is you guys, 260 people hanging out in the cave. I better see 260 likes. I better see you guys cruising over there and hitting that subscribe on YouTube, because we got a lot of stuff going on. So please, you guys, all you got to do is slide over to YouTube, hit the subscribe. You could Google Cowboys Cave. You can go to cowboyscave.com. It'll lead you to the channel. So make sure you guys do that. We got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be an interesting summer. It's going to be a quiet summer, but we're still going to be doing some live shows and doing all that. Try and get in a few guests. I'm trying to get San Francisco 49er. We're going to end the jinx. So I'm working on a San Francisco 49er. My brother, I'm going to put him to work because he's actually going to be in Clearwater, but I'm out of town, so I'm not going to be able to go see him to do my sales pitch. So my brother's going to have to do it. I'm going to prep him up for it. But he is, I'll just say he's bar none. Bar none was his nickname, and he was a rookie the year the Cowboys lost to the 49ers. He was one of those guys that was the kind of, they said, put the Niners over the hump along with Dion and stuff like that. So we're going to get him in. Hopefully I can get him in the cave, talk about the rivalry of the Cowboys in that era. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, make sure you guys do that. But I don't have anything else to schedule out.
No, I'm good.
All the stuff's done. Tailgate party is going to be the Ravens, but I'll be at some games. We got a road game, road tailgate, Cowboys Cave road tailgate party is going to be at the ATL. And that's going to be, I believe, in November. So we'll be getting that stuff together. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great time. So hopefully we'll see you guys out there. Kelly, I'll let Mikey. You got any final thoughts, and then let Kelly wrap it up?
No, I'm just excited for the season. It'll be here before we know it. Soon it'll be preseason, and then boom, week 1's here.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
By the way, who do we play preseason? I saw we play the Chargers.
I'll take all the lost teams. Las Vegas,
yes,
Los Angeles.
Yeah, good point, Kelly.
Oh,
Los
really?
Rams, Raiders, and Chargers. Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. Shit.
All the teams with lost in front of their names. Yeah.
Damn, that's good. That's easy to remember. So, Kelly, wrap it up. Put a bow on this show. The schedule. It's a reaction show. We don't want to call it the release show. Put a bow on this thing and let us know what we got going on.
Yeah, well, you know, the schedule's been released. We know who we're playing. We know who we're playing, and we know when the tailgate is. And so that's the big thing, Cowboys Nation. We love to have all of y'all out there. Hope to get as many of you guys out there as we can. There's not a limit on how many people can come. It's everybody. Everybody's invited. People say, who's all invited? Who all can come? Everybody can come. We even have Ravens fans out there. Last year when we did the Jets, we had a guy, the Jets, he ended up being pretty cool, hung out with us, had a good time. He took it all in good fun. Even when we were giving him shit, talking about how bad we were going to beat him, and, turned around and we did do that. So, football's right around the corner, y'all. Y'all just keep on. We love the support. Continue to, join in here. Like, share, subscribe. We're still continuing to push this thing. And we can't do it without you guys. So if you don't go to the channel and subscribe, we can't continue to grow the channel and do these cool things like this tailgate. I promise you it'll be one of the best experiences you've been to. It may not be any celebrities there. We're no celebrities. We're just fans just like you. But I promise you the atmosphere and the vibe was nothing but good. It was nothing but positive. Everybody who was there said they had a great time. Everybody who was there said they wanted to come back this year. So we're going to make it bigger and better this year. But we enjoyed talking with you guys for almost 2 hours here. Talking about everything Cowboys related. We'll be back next week again to do it again. So Cowboys Nation, until next time.
Till next time. And I will say, I just want to say something. I apologize. I always think you did say something about the just the camaraderie that we had. And I'll just say this, because I know there's some people out there like, man, I got to go solo. I can't bring anyone. I'm just telling you, we had a lot of people there that just got a solo ticket, went to the party ticket, and they came to the tailgate. They didn't know anyone. They didn't know us. We didn't know them, and they didn't know anyone in there, but everyone's like family. So if you're coming solo, don't think that you're not going to be welcome. Don't think you're going to be left out. Don't even feel uncomfortable. We had a bunch of people there that rode solo. So it is a family atmosphere. It's a lot of fun. Maybe not family language. Maybe not something that you want to bring your little kids to. Sometimes, things get going on after a few shots. You guys seen Kelly. He can get a little ruthless. So maybe not the best thing for the young kids. But it is a family. It's family fun. So we're going to have a good time. But like Kelly said, man, appreciate all the support. And we'll be getting out of here so we can go enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a great weekend. All you guys who chimed in. Love when people call in. I wish you guys would call in more because it's a lot of fun. And see you.
Oh, that's fun.
See you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry.